While the number of internet marketers currently using YouTube to its fullest is still quite slim, there are nevertheless some great examples of people who are making a lot of money from it. One example is the very visible Mike Chang from Six Pack Shortcuts, who uses a ton of advertising to drive visitors to his channel and to his information products. One of his most recent videos involved him stuffing his face as much as he could to demonstrate how his training methods don't require you to starve yourself. The video is actually quite unpleasant to watch and is certainly fairly controversial. Both of these things work in Mike's favor, however, as both of these things mean people are more likely to watch and to click through to see what the channel is all about. Remember, these videos will normally show just before fitness and bodybuilding videos that the user has clicked on, and this is a great way for them to grab attention. In some of his other YouTube ads, Mike will talk about free techniques that you can use as a reader to lose weight or to build muscle. To see the free technique, you need to click on the ad and get directed to another video. This brings people to the Six Pack Shortcuts brand and is what is known as a sales funnel. Gradually, viewers engage more and more with the brand until eventually they're willing to pay for the product. Another example is Tai Lopez. Now, if you spend much time on YouTube, then you'll no doubt have seen him talking about how he earned his Lamborghini in his garage. Once again, the video is fairly ostentatious and controversial, and some people will be put off by it. Either way, though, viewers end up watching, and this technique has allowed Tai to very quickly grow his channel to 406 or more thousand viewers. It's actually doubtful, though, whether that Lamborghini is even his. You don't need to be so on-the-nose controversial or deceptive to make a splash, though. Equally successful is the fitness channel Athlean X, which promotes training like an athlete. In the advertising campaign for this channel, owner Jeff Cavaliere actually actively challenges the methods of advertisers like Mike Chang and positions himself as the more grounded and scientific alternative. The techniques you'll learn here will enable you to emulate the success these content creators have, and even to surpass them with your own products and channels. To get started with your advertising, you'll first need to create your account. These days, YouTube is integrated very closely with Google and with Google+. That means that the easiest way to sign in is just to log into your Google account. From there, you'll have the option to create a specific YouTube account. Now, I've already done that, so let's just come into my YouTube account. Now, to create a YouTube channel, you come over here to the little icon that's got your picture on it, or your logo, or however you set it up on Google, and you click on that, and then click here where it says Creator Studio, and then simply follow the on-screen instructions to set up a new channel. It's all fairly self-explanatory. Now, once you've got all your channels created, you'll be able to find them here on this little drop-down. And at the same time, you'll be able to see your Google Plus accounts all listed underneath. So if you want to create a new channel for your Google Plus page, then you can do it by clicking on these. This means that if you have a business on Google Plus, you can easily create a channel for that business and have your accounts linked. Either way, you need to be on Google Plus in order to use YouTube and in order to be able to add comments, etc. When you create your channel, you'll either use the name associated with your Google Plus account, or you'll create a new name that's relevant to your brand and that's easy for your visitors to find and to understand. You may choose to create multiple channels, one for your brand and one for yourself as a personal user. Alternatively, you might choose to create multiple channels for each of your products. For instance, you might want to create one channel for your brand and another for your app. For example, Microsoft has a Microsoft account, as well as a Surface account and a Windows account, and so on. Take a look over the terms and conditions, and once you're happy with the name of your channel, then you can click Done to go ahead and publish the channel. And we'll continue this video in part 2. In order for your YouTube advertising campaign to be a success, You need to ensure that you have high quality videos comprising both your channel and the adverts themselves. No matter how clever you are with your advanced organization, your bidding strategy, or your targeting, your videos need to be high quality if you're going to get people to actually watch them and maybe buy your products. This is the part that can end up scaring off a lot of potential marketers. But as we'll see, it's perfectly possible to create great videos without needing the help of Steven Spielberg. In fact, if you're concerned about creating videos that feature you in front of the camera, you can actually still be successful without having to even own a camera, but we'll get to that option in a bit. Most people are going to want to create their own YouTube videos, and this is going to mean going in front of the camera. So how do you go about this? The first step, of course, is to invest in a decent camera if you can. Thankfully, most cameras these days will record in at least 1080 pixels, and you shouldn't have to spend too much to get a camera that does this. Some other features worth going into include wide-angle lenses, which will enable you to include more inside the image, and the option to add an external microphone for better audio. This latter feature is particularly important if your room has poor acoustics and your videos otherwise come out echoing or quiet. Note as well that a lot of displays these days are actually higher than 1080 pixels, and this is only going to be a trend that continues. If you want to future-proof your tech and your videos themselves, then it might be worth investing in a 2K or even a 4K camera. Now you're looking at spending a fair amount of money though, which is why a good strategy for many marketers is actually to use a camera phone. Believe it or not, many camera phones actually rival dedicated camcorders these days. The excellent camera on the Galaxy S6 and Note 5 phones, for instance, are actually capable of recording 4K, and they have excellent video stabilization and other features. Seeing as you also get a phone when you buy one of these cameras, and you can get it on a monthly contract with no upfront expense, this is a great way to save money and to manage your cash flow as a solo entrepreneur. That's your hardware sorted out, but from there you also need to get some good software. In this case, that means a video editing suite such as Adobe Premiere or Sony Vegas. And there are various permutations of both of these software packages, ranging from top-end professional video editing suites right down to more consumer-orientated software packages. But none of them are particularly cheap, which is why some people would choose to use the free Windows Movie Maker instead. Now, I'll be honest with you, Movie Maker is very simplistic. It doesn't really do very much. And so it's going to be worth the added investment of getting one of these other two packages. They do offer a 30-day free trial, both on Adobe Premiere. You can see there's a free trial here at the time that I'm making this video. Some of the Sony Vegas packages also offer a free trial as well. So you get a month to use it before you have to pay, although with both of them, some of the features are turned off so that you can't actually use them until you've got the full version. Now, another free package that is quite advanced is DaVinci Resolve, and it is a professional high-end video editing package, and you do need a top-of-the-range computer to run it on. And it can be a bit difficult to get your head around if you're not an editor, but it is actually a very good piece of software and worth thinking about if you don't want to spend the money on something like Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere. Now, regardless of which package you decide to go for, good editing software will let you add things like attractive transitions, video overlays, video effects, and a whole lot more. And there are a few things that you can use here to really improve the look and feel of your videos. When editing your videos, the key is to record yourself speaking for longer takes, but then to cut rapidly. Give yourself lots of footage to work with, but then don't linger on shots. You want to keep up a constant momentum. Add your logo to the video to make it look more professional and to give it a more professional feel, and cut shots of you speaking with other footage that has your voice narrating it. Videos that consist of a single person speaking in their bedroom will generally look, low quality and possibly even embarrassing. Adding music in the background can help you to give your video a more professional feel and ramp up the emotion to just how you want it and encourage a sale. When you do this, make sure you don't drown out your own voice and that you don't use music that you don't own the rights to. If you don't have any music to hand, then one option is to consider using a site like Fiverr.com to commission someone to write you a score. Otherwise, you can use music from a band if you know anyone musical, or you can use music that's royalty free, which means that you can use it without paying extra. Either way, making sure that your music isn't copyrighted will help you to avoid getting into trouble. Avoiding free music available through YouTube will prevent you from looking unprofessional. If you're going to be featuring in your video, then of course it's important that you look the part. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be a supermodel, but if you want to inspire trust, then you need to speak confidently and fluently, and you need to be well dressed. If you don't come across on screen as a charismatic presence, then find someone who does. You can hone your presentation skills as well by filming yourself and watching it back. And a general tip is to try speaking more slowly to avoid sounding nervous or stumbling over your words. Also important is the correct lighting. An ideal here is what's known as Rembrandt lighting, where you light your face from the side in order to create some contrasting shadows. You should also look into setting up your backdrop to look professional, and you should choose somewhere with good acoustics unless you're using a microphone.